attack. Long considered one of sport's greatest players, Maradona famously led his team to victory in the 1986 World Cup with what's described as the goal of a century. David Stokes looks back on his life.
He infamously referred to a hand of God, and the unique gifts of Diego Armando Maradona appeared to come from a higher force. Born in 1960 and raised in a shanty town on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, he became their national hero and a global football superstar. His impact in club football meant he was playing for his country as a teenager, a prolific creator and scorer of goals. Just 1.65 metres tall, stocky and powerful, his skill and balance made him unstoppable. The 1986 World Cup was his time. Maradona, the player, the man, encapsulated in an unforgettable quarter-final against England. Firstly, what he was to call the hand of God, punching the ball into the net. Then a second goal of scarcely believable quality, to many the greatest individual goal in World Cup history. Maradona's Argentina went on to lift that World Cup in Mexico, a good team made great by one player. Though 4 years later they lost the trophy as West Germany gained revenge in the final. But Maradona was thriving in club football in Europe, for Barcelona in the early 80s, then Napoli in Italy, whom he took to their first ever Italian titles, and where he is still treated as a favourite son. Off the field there was turbulence. He was addicted to cocaine and was banned from both club and international football for failed drugs tests, one of which ended his 1994 World Cup. In 2004, he spent time in intensive care after a heart attack, and his weight fluctuated during battles with addiction. He had 2 daughters through his marriage that ended in divorce, and a son born outside the marriage as well, Diego Jr. The People's Choice managed his country at the 2010 World Cup. He defied many critics until a quarter-final defeat against Germany again. He dipped in and out of club management as well. In 2018, he took over the Mexican second division club Dorados de Sinaloa, but it wasn't long before he returned to Argentina to lead top-flight team Gimnasia de la Plata. In true Maradona style, he stepped down after only 2 months in charge, only to rejoin again 2 days later. His last public appearance was at a game on his 60th birthday, where he appeared frail and left at half-time. A few days later, he was admitted to hospital, initially with anemia and dehydration. But things quickly escalated, and he needed surgery to remove a blood clot on his brain. The operation went well, but less than 2 weeks later, he died of a heart attack. Whether Maradona is the greatest ever footballer is open to debate, but his incredible talent and contribution to the game's history make him a phenomenon.
Well, Teresa Bo is live now for us from Buenos Aires, and he was recently in hospital for a blood clot. Is what happened with the heart attack related to that, Teresa?
Well, the news are just starting to sink in here. Maradona is seen as a hero in Argentina, and people are just trying to get used to the idea that he will no longer be here. Maradona had a heart attack. He was discovered by a nurse. He was recovering in a gated community about 30 minutes away from the capital, Buenos Aires. About 2 weeks ago, he had brain surgery because of a clot, and he was recovering in that place. And this, in a way, comes as a surprise for most Argentines. He has struggled health-wise for many, many years now. He had suffered 2 heart attacks in the past, had bypass surgery in a way to try to lose weight, and struggled with addiction, as a report indicated, throughout his life. But for most Argentines, as I said before, he's a hero. People, we've been hearing some of those we have spoken to are saying that, for example, Maradona made them cry out of happiness because he helped Argentina win the World Cup in 1986, but now they're going to be crying out of pain. Another person told us that now Diego Maradona will be playing with God, but also the angels and the devils are going to be watching him play. Maradona has a crucial role in Argentina. The president has just announced that Argentina is going to have 3 days of mourning out of respect for Diego Maradona.
All right, thanks so much, Teresa Bow there. Our sports presenter, Peter Stemmet, joins us now on set. So grief and shock there, as Teresa Bow pointed out, in Argentina. How's his legacy going to be remembered, do you think, Peter?
Oh, gosh, Sammy, you can look at Maradona in so many different facets. A complicated man, a genius on the football field. He won the World Cup with Argentina. He had drug problems, addictions, as we know, was in hospital. His weight ballooned. Then he lost a lot of weight. He tried his hand at coaching, rather unsuccessfully, nowhere near as successful as he was as a player. And something that we probably don't see in the modern game, he was able to go to a relatively small football club in Italy at the time called Napoli, and he won the Serie A title with them twice. That's not something that we are likely to see in the modern era, given the kind of commercialization that we have in football and the professionalism that we see today.
All right, Peter, thanks so much. After nearly 3 weeks of fighting in northern Ethiopia, a deadline imposed by the central government for Tigrayan forces to